At the War Memorial, Dan Duva along with Syracuse Crunch assistant coach Trent Cull. Trent, how are you?
Super. Yourself, Dan?
Oh, just terrific. Getting ready for a couple of games this weekend at the War Memorial. The Penguins on Friday, the Devils on Saturday. Got to go down to Wilkes-Barre a couple of weeks ago with a win. An exciting one. Back to your old stomping grounds. How was that?
It was good. I obviously have some ties with that area and still do. My wife's from there, and so it's actually, it's only 2.5 hours away. So, but it's nice. I played there, I think the second year they were in existence, and we went to the finals that year. We lost actually to St. John, the St. John Flames for the cup that year. But always successful in that area, so always a fond spot in my heart.
And Tom Kostopoulos, who is still playing for the Penguins, of course, was in the NHL for about 600 games. Yeah. He's still playing there.
Yeah, you know what? Tom, there's a few guys, Toby Peterson, Milan Kraft, Joseph Melichar. There's a lot of guys. Roosevelt, who played on that team, Andrew Ferentz, a lot of young guys that were first-year guys. And so I was one of the older guys at the time there. It had been seasoned, so to speak, already. So great group of young kids to play with and very successful.
So that's, more than a decade ago. Now your third tour of duty with the Crunch. A player, an assistant coach, after a time as a head coach in junior hockey, back with Syracuse. So it's a couple months into the season now. You feel like you're settled in finally?
I think so. I think, my family were very fortunate. We got a place here. We rented the place right away. So it was nice for us to settle in, or them to settle in. We spent the first month in Tampa throughout, September. Right at the end of August, we were down there. We're gone, as everyone knows, for the stint in Tampa, then our exhibition series in St. John's. So we're gone for a full month. Now we're back. We're getting into the, some parts of the meat of the year, I guess you'd say, so well into November. So it's been really good. I'm learning a lot, some great things about just the Tampa organization and how they do things. Rob has been very good with me in the sense of giving me a lot of leash and things to work on and some real independence as a coach. And so it's been just a great experience for me overall.
And the Crunch have won 8 out of their last 9, 3 in a row. First place in the East Division as you go up against the Penguins. They win, they would take over the division lead. But in this week leading up to that game on Friday, there have been some roster moves here. You've got only 19 players, including 2 goalies, practice today. How does that challenge the coaching staff to get ready for the weekend?
I think it's always challenging, but I think I know in my experience, and I know Rob is certainly maybe doesn't have as much experience in the American Hockey League, which is good for him. But for me, it's everyday life. Just the adversity of the American League. It's the ups and downs, and it's the guys getting called up. So that's such a rewarding part of our jobs. I think that if we're doing a good job, those guys can go up, contribute in Tampa, and have like a seamless transition. Then we know we're doing a good job. And then with the other guys here, it just creates more opportunity. And we know we have tough opponents this weekend with Wilkes-Barre and Albany, but we have a bar where we've set it right now, and we want to hold to it no matter whom's in our lineup.
And of course, we're talking about the players just called up this week, Korobov and JT Brown. And we'll see if the Lightning do anything in the next couple of days here, if the lineup changes before the Crunch game against Wilkes-Barre. But Brown specifically, part of one of the best lines in the American Hockey League. Here's Kucherov and Nemesnikov. Brown, very successful in his own right, is that group. We've seen Danik Gauthier on that line. How does he step into that role, and what makes him a good fit with those 2 guys?
I just think that Danik, I know from Zetz's point of view, I think he's come in and actually had a really good stint with us here now coming back from Florida. So I know that I think maybe he's in a little bit better shape. He's moving better. He's quicker out there. And actually, he's had a really good last few games for us, especially in Wilkes-Barre and then in the Norfolk series. I think he's gone down. He's playing with confidence now. I know Rob is giving him an opportunity. And so for right now, we have some other lines that are fairly well balanced. And I think that maybe we're looking at an opportunity for Danik to step in there and hopefully fill the Brownie's shoes.
And clearly he's done well since coming back from the Everblades, as you pointed out. A few points and 11 different scorers in the game in Norfolk on Saturday, and the Crunch winning their 3rd straight game. But here you have a defensive, I don't want to call it a crisis by any means, but Teremian is out. Korobov is currently up. Charles Landry into the lineup perhaps this weekend. You've had Drew Olson, who was a defenseman in college, playing as a defenseman here in practice this week. So is there any concern about the depth on defense right now?
Well, I think we may still have depending on what happens with Tampa, might still have another guy come in and fill a spot in a roster. So whom that is, we're not sure. But one thing that's great about Drew, he has the versatility of being a forward or defenseman for us. So, and just to get him kind of seasoned with the practice this week, getting back to that form, if that is going to be his role coming tomorrow. So, but you know what? Again, we talked about, you know, with the opportunity, or with the absence becomes opportunity. And that's even with, I think Nesterov has had probably his best weekend for us here last week. So, I mean, we're going to miss him. Obviously, talked about Korobov as well, Taramina as well. But with that, like we said, the opportunity, and we look forward to seeing the younger guys, whether it's Sergeyev and Witkowski, but then also we've had some old guys playing really good hockey right now with Cote and Mormina.
As you look at the weekend, the Penguins Friday, the Devils Saturday. Seen Wilkes-Barre twice now, winning one and losing one. What about the Penguins do you expect to see this weekend, getting to know them a little bit early on?
I think they'll be pretty hungry. I know they didn't have as successful a weekend last weekend as they wanted to, and so just against us, I know they're a good team, and they're well coached, they know how to play, they come in, they play their systems very well, and they play an up-tempo style. So I think the opposite maybe of us right now, they're at I guess operating on full capacity. They have everyone there right now. So, but I mean, it's a good challenge for us, like we said, with the opportunity, but it'll be good for our young guys to get thrust in some bigger roles and see how they respond.
And then the Devils, the opponent on Saturday, you guys had beaten them out in Albany a couple of weeks ago, and they're perhaps a different mentality where they're going to slow you down. They're going to do some dumping and chasing the Devils' way.
Yeah, you know what? It's still more aggressive than I remember like the 3-4 years ago, but they are a more aggressive style team, but they have some guys, they always have a few more maybe call-ups than normal just because they're so close in the proximity. So I know that they have guys going up and down every day. So we'll see from there what their lineup's going to be, but I think, again, it comes down if we're playing our game. Hopefully we have success.
And the Crunch, first place in the East Division, trying to hold on to that title heading into the weekend. It's the Penguins on Friday, the Devils on Saturday. Trent Cull, assistant coach, thanks for your time and best of luck this weekend.
Thank you very much, Dan. Pleasure to be here.
As always. With Trent Cull, I'm Dan Duva.